Let's take a look at the 12 tasks of Hercules. 1. Slay the Nemean lion. The task of slaying the Nemean lion was the first of the 12 labors assigned to Hercules. The Nemean lion was a fearsome beast that lived in Nemea and terrorized its inhabitants. Its golden fur was impervious to attack, and it could not be killed with mortal weapons. Hercules was sent to slay the lion by King Eurystheus. When Hercules found the lion, he discovered that his arrows were useless against the beast's invincible skin. He then followed the lion to a cave which had 2 entrances. Hercules blocked one of the entrances and approached the lion through the other. In the confined space of the cave, Hercules stunned the lion with his club. He then strangled it to death with his bare hands. After slaying the lion, Hercules attempted to skin it with a knife from his belt, but he failed because the lion's skin was too tough. Finally, Athena, the goddess of wisdom, told Hercules to use one of the lion's own claws to skin the pelt. Hercules returned to King Eurystheus carrying the dead lion. The king was amazed and terrified by Hercules' feat. From then on, Hercules was often depicted wearing the lion's skin as a protective cloak. This became one of his most iconic symbols. 2. Slay the Lernean Hydra. The task of slaying the Lernean Hydra was the second of the 12 labors assigned to Hercules. The Hydra was a monstrous serpent with 9 heads that lived in the swamps near a place called Lerna. It would rise up from the murky waters and terrorize the countryside. The Hydra's venom was so poisonous that even its scent was deadly. Hercules, accompanied by his trusty nephew Ilus, set off to hunt the Hydra. Hercules first lured the Hydra from its den by shooting flaming arrows at it. Once the Hydra emerged, Hercules discovered that his arrows were useless against the beast. The Hydra was not an easy prey. For every time Hercules smashed one of its heads, 2 more would grow back in its place. To overcome this, Hercules called on Ilus for help. Each time Hercules smashed one of the Hydra's heads, Ilus held a torch to the headless tendons of the neck. The flames prevented the growth of replacement heads, and finally, Hercules managed to get the better of the beast. The final, immortal head of the Hydra was cut off by Hercules using a golden sword given to him by the goddess Athena. He buried this head at the side of the road, leading from Lerna to Ilius, covering it with a heavy rock. As for the rest of the Hydra, Hercules slit open the corpse and dipped his arrows in its venomous blood. When Hercules returned to King Eurystheus, the king was amazed and terrified. He forbade Hercules from entering the city again, and from then on, he sent his commands to Hercules through a herald. Despite this, the ancient authors still give Hercules all the credit for this labor. 3. Capture the Golden Hind. The task of capturing the Golden Hind was the third of the 12 labors assigned to Hercules. The Golden Hind, also known as the Hind of Cerynea, was a remarkable female deer with golden horns and bronze hooves. It was sacred to Artemis, the goddess of hunting and animals. Hercules was ordered to capture the hind without hurting it. As it was a special pet of Artemis, Hercules hunted the deer every day for a year. Realizing that the deer was about to get away, Hercules shot her just as she was about to cross the river Ledon. He caught the deer, put her on his shoulders, and turned back to Mycenae. On his way home, Hercules encountered Artemis and Apollo. Artemis was very angry because Hercules tried to kill her sacred animal. However, Hercules explained his situation and promised to return the hind unharmed. After hearing his explanation, Artemis let go of her anger and healed the deer's wound. Hercules then carried the hind alive back to Mycenae. 4. Capture the Erymanthian boar. The task of capturing the Erymanthian boar was the fourth of the 12 labors assigned to Hercules. The Erymanthian boar was a monstrous wild pig with a bad temper and tusks growing out of its mouth. It would come crashing down from its lair on Mount Erymanthus, attacking men and animals all over the countryside, gouging them with its tusks, and destroying everything in its path. Hercules was ordered by King Eurystheus to capture the boar alive. To achieve this, Hercules embarked on a treacherous journey to pursue the boar through the snow-covered depths of the mountain. Eventually, Hercules managed to ensnare the boar, using a net and transported it back to Eurystheus. Hercules' successful capture of the Erymanthian boar further demonstrated his strength and cunning. 5. Clean the Augean stables in a single day. The phrase "clean the Augean stables in a single day" refers to a task from Greek mythology that was undertaken by Hercules as his fifth labor. King Augeas had more cattle than anyone in Greece, and their stables had not been cleaned for years. Hercules was tasked with cleaning these stables in a single day. Hercules accomplished this seemingly impossible task by using his strength and ingenuity. He diverted the courses of two nearby rivers, the Alpheus and the Peneus, causing them to flow through the stables too. The forceful rush of water washed out all the filth, thoroughly cleaning the stables. This labor is often used metaphorically to refer to an enormous task that needs to be accomplished in a short amount of time. It also highlights the importance of using clever strategies to achieve seemingly impossible goals. 6. Slay the Stymphalian birds. The Stymphalian birds were a group of man-eating birds in Greek mythology that lived in a swamp near the town of Stymphalos. They were known for their bronze beaks, sharp metallic feathers they could launch at their victims, and poisonous dung. The task of slaying these birds was the sixth labor of Hercules. Hercules was initially unsure of how to drive the birds away due to the marshy ground that couldn't support his weight. The goddess Athena came to his aid, providing a pair of bronze crotala, noise-making clappers, similar to castanets, made by Hephaestus, the god of the forge. Hercules climbed a nearby mountain and clashed the crotala loudly, scaring the birds out of the trees. He then shot them with arrows, possibly tipped with the poisonous blood of the slain Hydra, as they took flight. Some versions of the legend say that Hercules did not manage to slay all of the Stymphalian birds, but he killed enough of them to spur the birds to migrate. The remaining birds flew away, abandoning Arcadia and reaching an island in the Euxine Sea.